There is a handful of fixers in Night City and Dogtown. While some are better than the others, they are all important. A fixer is known as a middleman who is known to have mercs in their hand ready for jobs. I'm going to be ranking all of the fixers in their gigs, how much they pay, and their importance. We will also take a dive in their backstory. So yeah, let's start with probably the worst and most hated fixer, Dexter Deshawn. Now, Dex earned his fame by connecting skilled mercenaries with high-stakes gigs. In 2075, Dex disappeared. It's believed he fled after creating chaos in Pacifica, where he got into a lot of trouble with some dangerous enemies. After fleeing in Night City and making a name for himself, he sets up the only gig we do for him, Konpeki Plaza. To me and most people, Dex is probably the worst fixer in the game. He is not very good at what he does. He uses mercs and people that are nowhere near skilled to do jobs like those. Perfect example was Jackie and V, and who at the time were very simple mercs and was not ready for such a heist. So I think he deserves the worst spot on my list. Dino Dinovich. Dino is the best and only fixer in downtown. He runs a bar called Electric Orgasm. He is well connected to a powerful people. Dino is also a huge fan of Johnny Silverhand. Despite not even meeting him, he was impressed by Johnny's actions and confidence. Dino has the least interactions with V and the least gigs of all fixers. He provides only 5 gigs. We don't really have a lot of information surrounding him. The gigs he provides are pretty decent, despite being a little to none. The gigs get harder as you go. There's like 3 different tiers on them, and they all pay differently in total. You will get around 44,000 eddies and also a pretty decent vehicle after doing all of the gigs. I feel like he deserves the lower place because there isn't a lot of people, there just isn't a lot of gigs we can do for him. Wako Okada. She operates in Westbrook, Japantown. She owns a business where you can find her on Jig Jig Street. She has a strong connections with Tiger Claws, mainly through local influence. She had 5 husbands who unfortunately all died, and all of her 8 children are high-ranking members of the Tiger Claws. Wakako gives a total of 8 gigs that are divided in 3 tiers. In total, she pays around 33,000 for all of the gigs. After finishing all of them, you also unlock a side job known as a professional widow, which gives you the iconic katana Bayako blade. Wakako is the first fixer you work with during Act 1, where you save Sandra Dorset. Other than that, a fixer, she's actually a very huge help to us. Where we kidnap Hanako with Takamura, she gives us the plan of Japantown and tells us all the information we need to know. She's a decent fixer when you're just in the earlier stages of the game. Dakota Smith. She used to be a nomad. She runs with the Badlands. She has a garage east of the Sunset Motel, being the eldest daughter of the Pomo tribe which claims to be the oldest fixer in Badlands. Dakota sees the ecosystem of the Badlands, nomads, corps, gangs as an interconnected. The removing one would fuck the rest. In addition of being a fixer, Dakota is also a technician, also known as a techie, capable of repairing and upgrading cyberware. Dakota gives a total of 7 in 4 different tiers. All of the gigs are made for you to be as stealthy as possible. Most of them require you to rescue someone and not put their life to danger. She isn't mentioned a lot during the story, so we don't really know a lot about her. She basically lies low in the Badlands. She's loyal and wants the people to live in peace. Despite her being in the low, she pays around 64,000 for all the gigs once you've done completing them, which again is pretty impressive in someone who runs an area like that in Badlands. Padre. He's first shown in the main introduction in the Street Kid path. He was also known for the Saint of Haywood, once a priest deeply involved with the Valentinos gang, services as their spiritual leader, which caused him to become a fixer. He survived a massacre which led him to redefine his mission in Night Cities as someone loyal. Padre operates in Haywood. He focuses on defending his community. His gigs are like broken 4 tiers. Like with him, I just find it annoying. After each gig he calls you and tries to connect the kills with his religion as someone that needs to be done, which in my eyes he just seems very hypocrite. Padre provides around 11 gigs and in total you will get around 64,000. In some of his side missions you will also get exclusive stuff like for example Johnny's pants or the Seraph pistol. Rogue. The fixer we probably know the most about. She used to run with Johnny Silverhand, Spider Murphy, Miki, and Shaitan. Known for running the Afterlife. We really don't work with her from the start. We need to grow a good reputation, like working with Panem and finishing her story. And after Rogue knows that knows our worth and the work we can do. Despite of her being a fixer, she's also extremely smart. She tries to do gigs in the professional style. She really does not provide a lot of gigs, like around 5, and she also expects very high expectations as all gigs V has to do alone with no help. Despite her only paying around 15 to 30k for all of the gigs provide a lot of information in the story of her life and also the afterlife in general. El Capitan. MWUAH is based on the Santo Domingo area. What's interesting about him is that there's a lot of lore surrounding El Capitan on how Santo Domingo is a shit place to live in because of very infected water dumped by corpos like Arasaka. He values moral intention over blind profit. He provides around 10 gigs, around 4 tiers, and a price around 65k on complete. Some of my favorite things about El Capitan is that he genuinely cares about his own people. You can see this like through all the gigs you do for him, and one of the missions for him where you steal some stuff from Arasaka, you can tell he isn't doing this about the money, does this to finally provide clear water for his people. After finishing this mission, you also get one of my favorite vehicles in the game, which is extremely smooth and fast at the same time. Other than gigs, you also get to steal some cars for him, which I really like because he's probably the most charitable fixer out of all. He also offers a lot of discounts for various vehicles after you do the job for him. Regina Jones. She used to be a journalist who turned fixer. She incurred heavy debts to Chinese officials. Her main passion is cyberpsychosis, and that she believes that if they can be defeated and not killed, maybe there will be a cure for them to be basically normal. She gives around 23 gigs through Watson, making her the city's most active fixer. Other than gigs, you can defeat 17 cyberpsychosis. She's loyal to her community. She treats gigs as tools for greater good, not only for cash. Some of the gigs you do for her, you need to be a bit quiet, which again is optional, but do pay more. Despite her having the most gigs in the game, she really does not pay a lot. She pays around 70,000 for all the gigs completed, not including the cyberpsychosis, which again seems very low for 23 gigs. During some of her gigs, you can also find some exclusive items. After completing all of them, you'll also get the vehicle Cheetah, which again is a pretty cool car you can keep forever. But to me, just seems way too low for all the work we do. But hey, at least we get a reputation at least. MrHands. Real name Wade Bleeker, formerly a high-ranking corporate at Petrochem. After being targeted for elimination following internal shakeup, he actually faked his death, which led him to the name MrHands. During his holo calls, all you can see are, again, his hands, which means he tries to be as discreet as possible and really avoids personal face-to-face meetings, except a few times during Phantom Liberty. Once he gains our trust, he operates mainly in Pacifica, then with the DLC in Dogtown. He really doesn't have a lot of gigs under his belt. One is in the main game and 9 others in the DLC. But something about his gigs has so much more meaning, some leading to horrible deaths, and some also pretty damn interesting. Like there's a lot of lore you can find about it. He's also a very important during DLC, like getting plans for the party, and also using an edgerunner for us during the ending, one of the endings for Phantom Liberty. Now, I feel like MrHands definitely deserves the #1 spot in my honest opinion, because he is probably the most powerful, he has the most connections out of everyone there, and he's basically the most important. Now, do you agree with my list at all? Please let me know down in the comments. Let me know your fixer, your favorite fixer, and probably the most hated fixer, which I probably know the answer already. But other than Dex, who is the worst in your opinion? Thank you again for joining me in this video. If you like any other videos you would like to see, there's 2 on my screen which YouTube thinks you will like, so go ahead and click any of them. And anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for a new video. Goodbye. Mwah.